ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. Brothers and sisters, we continue our book Riyadh Saliheen by Imam Nawawi rahmatullahi alayhi. We are on the 55th chapter of the book, and the chapter is with regards to living the life of simplicity, the virtues of the life of simplicity, and avoiding living the life of extravagance. The hadith for tonight, and the hadith is, and I'll just read a portion of it. Hadith said, "One Amr bin Auf Al-Ansari radiyallahu anhu, anna Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam ba'atha Abu Ubaidah bin Al-Jarrah radiyallahu anhu ila Bahrain ila al-hadith." The hadith is reported from both Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Amr bin Auf Al-Ansari radiyallahu anhu reports, and he mentions that the Nabi of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had sent Abu Ubaidah ibn Al-Jarrah radiyallahu anhu to Bahrain to collect some jizyah, the amount of money that certain individuals in certain vicinities had to pay when the governance or the Islamic governance was established. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said Abu Ubaidah ibn Jarrah radiyallahu anhu to the area of Bahrain to collect some jizyahs, to collect some wealth, and to bring it back towards Medina. So Abu Ubaidah ibn Jarrah radiyallahu anhu returned with the wealth that he collected from Bahrain back to Medina. The people of Medina, they were known as the Ansar. And Ansar are the group of people that were truly beloved to the Prophet ﷺ. The Nabi of Allah ﷺ said, if Muhajirin are the outer pieces of my clothing, then Ansar are the inner parts of my clothing, meaning they are touching my body. Rasulullah ﷺ said, if there was no hijrat, I wish I would have been amongst the Ansar. Rasulullah ﷺ said, oh Allah, forgive Ansar. O Allah, forgive the awlad, the children of Ansar. Wa abna'il Ansar. O Allah, forgive the children of Ansar. O Allah, forgive the wives of Ansar, the neighbors of Ansar. So Rasulullah had so much love for the people of Ansar. So the Ansar received the news, the people of Medina received the news that Abu Ubaidah ibn Jarrah radiyallahu anhu has returned from Bahrain from the wealth of Jizyah. So it was Fajr namaz. And again, brothers and sisters, I say this with this disclaimer that the Sahaba radiallahu anhum ajma'een were the greatest human being to ever walk on the face of this earth after the Anbiya alayhi salatu wasalam. We as people cannot be equal to the dirt that touches the feet of Sahaba radiallahu anhum ajma'een, because they received the suhbah and the companionship of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, radiyallahu anhum wa radu'an. Allah is radi with them and they are radi with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Meaning, Allah gives them the glad tidings of Jannah. It doesn't matter who we are, how pious we are nothing compared to those that have already received the glad tidings. So in Fajr, and with this disclaimer, I say the next portion of the hadith, that it was the Fajr namaz and the crowd was usually larger than the normal days. The Ansar filled the masjid. And it's not that they never used to pray before. There were other places, other times, other localities that they could have prayed, the Ansar, in the local areas in Medina. There were many local areas in Medina that had masajid, they had congregations, etc. But Rasulullah ﷺ finished the Fajr namaz, he turned around and Ansar are filled. So the Nabi of Allah ﷺ looked at all of them and he smiled. And the Nabi of Allah ﷺ says, I think you have heard about the arrival of Abu Ubaidah from Bahrain. Meaning, who gave you the news that he came last night? And I see the whole masjid packed with the brothers in the masjid. He said, yes, Ya Rasulullah. That's the only reason why he came. They were people of clean heart. Sahaba were the people who had the cleanest of the hearts. May Allah give us hearts that are clean. They did not have two faces. They were not different behind others. They were one. Their days and their nights were the same. Their public and private life was the same. So they said, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, indeed, this is the reason that we have heard that he has come back and we came for that. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, they said, Ajal ya Rasulullah, that's the reason. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, Abshiru wa'amilu ma yasarrakum. Rejoice and hope for what will please for you. Indeed, I have things that will give you happiness, and be content for what Allah will provide for you. Meaning, yes, Allah has sent His rahmat, Allah has sent His mercy, and hope for that, what pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But then the Nabi of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, after saying this, he said, and my point that I will conclude with, He said, فَوَاللَّهِ مَا الْفَقْرُ أَخْشَى عَلَيْكُمْ. O my Sahaba, Wallahi, I do not fear a time that poverty will afflict you. I do not worry about the moment when you will be hungry. But I fear the moment when Allah will open the doors of wealth for you. And the money will come to you. And it will destroy you as it destroyed the people before you. My Sahaba, I'm not worried about faqr and hunger and thirst upon you. That's fine. But what worries me the most is that Allah will open the doors of dunya for you and you will be destroyed and ruined as it was destroyed for those who were before you. وَلَكِنِّي أَغْشَىٰ أَن تَبْسَطَ الدُّنْيَا عَلَيْكُمْ كَمَا بَسْطُ عَلَىٰ مَنْ كَانَ قَبْلَكُمْ. That who came before you. And then Rasulullah ﷺ said, as it destroyed you, the people before you. Meaning, the dunya itself comes as a rahmat of Allah, but do not allow this to become a means of destruction of our lives, the destruction of our hearts. And this hadith again reminds us as individuals, as nations, that yes, dunya brings its benefits, but it also brings its dangerous parts itself. And we should always ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us not to fall towards the fitna of dunya. As Rasulullah says, Inna mimma akhafa alaykum min ba'di. Indeed, the most worrisome thing for me after I leave you, Inna mimma akhafa alaykum, the thing that worries me the most, alaykum min ba'di, after me, ma yaftah alaykum min zahrati dunya wa zinataha, that I'm afraid that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will open the flourishment and the beauty of dunya upon you, and you will become mesmerized with dunya. That it will take you away. This is what Rasulullah is telling Sahaba radiallahu anhu ajmain. People for whom this worth was worth nothing in front of their eyes. This is what Rasulullah is speaking to about. Imagine our condition, brothers and sisters. That does not mean that we need to leave dunya, we need to boycott everything. No, that's not the purpose is make akhirah your manzil, make akhirah your maqsood. Do not make dunya the maqsood and the purpose of your life. Work hard, live life of comfort, provide yourself and your family with ease, but do not make dunya the sole maqsad and the purpose of our lives. May Allah give us tawfiq and ability to practice whatever good has been shared, inshallah. Subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanakallah wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka.